So.
Good morning, Beer Fuel Fantasy family. It is way too early, but we're doing the London thing again one last time this season. Hope you guys are bright-eyed and bushy-tailed as we are all sucking down coffee. I am Nick Sparts, joined to my right by Dan Thury. Rocking the glasses, I think, for the first time on air.
Thury BFF, massive struggling.
All right, and then over on special assignment from his dining room as opposed to his normal recording office is Christopher Hopper.
BFF with 2 P's and my coffee is currently being made.
All right, guys. Well, before we get to all your listener questions, let's go ahead and quick talk about some of the news we got over the night. First off, Deshaun Jackson apparently is trying to force his way out of Tampa Bay with a trade.
Good. He needs to get out of there to free up room for Chris Godwin. It's also a great move for a team like Houston, who's 5-3, who just lost their top deep threat receiver.
Yeah, Houston or Eagles, since they've lost Mike Wallace was the other one I saw was an interesting landing spot.
Eagles is a good one. Any team that needs
a vertical threat,
a legit vertical threat, can use them.
All right, let's go to some of the other reports we've seen. A player that a lot of people are going to be relying on today, got some interesting news as his prognosis of playing is Marlon Mack has a good shot in quotes at playing Week 8 against the Raiders, which is not quite the term I'm going to use if I want to have a lot of confidence.
It sounds like that even if he plays, he may be limited, which means that if he plays, he's going to be fully used and score like 3 touchdowns. So,
yeah, this is such a good matchup that even if they're like, yeah, he's going to get like 12 touches, I'd probably still start him.
It depends how banged up he is.
That too. All right, it sounds like Marshawn McCoy is going to be able to go on Monday night with his concussion. He is still advancing through protocol, has not been fully cleared, but they're expecting to clear him today.
So it's just that the head takes longer to regenerate.
Than the knee, apparently, yes.
I got to make a decision in Scott Fish Bowl, either him or Ben Watson, because it's gotten to that point in Scott Fish.
I mean, I just made the decision to start Marlon Mack, so that's the thing.
All right. Randall Cobb is expected to suit up here against the Rams, so if you're a Valdez-Scantling owner, probably kills his value this week. I don't think you can start him with the 3 main guys all healthy. Any interest in Cobb, though, in what should be kind of a shootout game?
Marginal. I mean, especially with the way he was practicing all week, it's like Allison a lot more.
Well, yeah, I mean, we haven't really seen Cobb since, week 3, so I trust Allison just because we've seen him more recently.
Yeah, I mean, Rodgers is known to pamper him, to pamper him with targets, so it's you're taking a gamble. I think he's a good DFS if you can get it, depending on his price, but I don't know if I can trust him in redraft.
All right. For those of you who are looking at the defensive matchups, it's looking like Khalil Mack is going to have to test his injured ankle pregame against the Jets, and it will be a game-time decision.
I still like that defense.
Yeah, even if he doesn't play the way that Darnold's been playing, which is very much like a rookie, I still like that defense a lot.
All right. Sounds like Matt Breida is expected to go, but they're going to limit him against the Cardinals, which at this point I'm not sure why they just don't go, yeah, we're just going to sit Breida, but they're going to try to protect him with limited snaps.
Whatever. Mostert. Mustard.
All right. It sounds like Allen Robinson is not expected to play against the Jets today.
Taylor Gabriel's season. Anthony Miller's season.
Right. Taylor Gabriel's season.
Trey Burton season.
Trey Breezy over the middle.
Tariq Cohen.
Lots of Cohen.
Every Bears pass catcher that's not named Allen Robinson season.
Thompson.
Josh Bellamy. Let's just get him in there for good measure.
Chris Thompson with his ribs and knee combo injury is expected to play week 8 against the Giants. He's been gone the last 2 games.
I don't know if you can trust him either.
I have a spot where I pretty much have to trust him.
Same here. Those are deep dynasty leagues.
Garcon has been ruled out for Week 8, so if you do have an IR spot in your league and you're holding Garcon, get him on the IR spot and pick somebody up here before kickoffs.
Yeah.
Always a good strategy to remember to get an extra turn spot just in case something happens this weekend. And then I want to get to my favorite news story that I've had break all season so far, where we found out that 4 Jaguars players, including Barry Church, Ronnie Harrison, DJ Hayden, and Gerald Wilson, were all involved in an incident where they got arrested for a fight that broke out in a London nightclub.
Yeah, apparently there's over a $40,000 bar tab, but then I read someplace else that the charges were dropped. So unless the team imposes a discipline, which I don't know that they would this week because of where they're at, they'll play.
Yeah, it's they're probably going to play this week. I'm not sure what they'll do long term. Maybe they'll get some fines imposed by the team or something. But overall, it was just very funny to get that across the sleeper bot notification last night at like 7 p.m.
I was like, huh?
Yeah, kickoffs in 12 hours, and these guys have all been arrested.
And one of the initial reports that Jalen Ramsey was involved too, so I was like, who's going to play in the secondary?
None of them.
Bump up to Wentz when they're all still in jail, but that's not what happened. So they're still missing Bouye, so this is not a full-strength Jaguars secondary, but it's not. If these guys were missing, it would have been significantly worse.
Should we get to these questions there, Nicholas?
Let's go ahead and jump into some of the questions that are starting to back up here. Thank you for getting those into us. Keep them coming. Starting off with Alex, who wants to know a kicker question.
Oh, yeah.
Do you start Lutz, Rosas, or Crosby this week?
Lutz.
Yeah, I'm generally looking for the dome, and that is the dome matchup. Lutz or Crosby's kicking out in LA, which would probably be my second favorite matchup from a perspective of still a pretty calm weather out there in LA. But yeah, Lutz in the dome against a banged up Vikings defense, which should be a really high scoring game.
Yeah, Lutz there.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask you for a friend too whenever we do it.
All right, let's clear out some of these first, and we'll get to that. Crunchy Tacos White wants to know. Needs me 2 of these 3 in standard scoring. Robert Woods, Godwin, and John Brown.
Woods Brown.
I don't think that's that close either.
No, and I love a guy when maybe makes it seem like he wants to ask, but no, yeah, it's all Woods and Brown here. You're going for the ones on this team, and
yeah,
should be
just
high scoring.
From a volume standpoint, I mean, Godwin, if he misses a touchdown, is probably going to give you a 5 for 56 day because I think that's what he's done about every week this season.
I feel like, yeah.
And then Crunchy Tacos also wants to know, have we done a Maine beer review yet? Which I don't believe we've had anything on from Maine.
I thought we have, but
I'll need to double check.
Yeah, somebody pull up the doc. Or cities on the doc.
I don't think the cities are.
Cities aren't. You'd probably have to pull up Maine's list of breweries and see if anything matches.
I'm not going to say we haven't 170 beers in, but nothing that jumps out. So
yeah, we've had a little bit of Northeast exposure, but not a ton. So it's definitely possible. All right. Dylan wants to know, morning dudes, Jordan Howard or Jalen Richard in half PPR this week?
God, we've gotten to that point.
Oh, no, we're not at that point. It's still Jordan Howard.
Yeah.
Full point, that might change my answer. And half point is still...
Yeah, standard it's for sure Howard. Half point, probably still Howard. He's got a great chance of just falling into the end zone this week.
Does he? Yeah, it's Howard still.
And then he also wants to know, Chiefs or Colts defense?
Chiefs.
I'm actually going Colts.
That upside. Oh, I love Chiefs defense this week.
I do go Colts against Oakland. Actually, let me rephrase. I am going Colts against Oakland.
And then Floor Killer, morning guys. Allen Robinson, Sterling Shepard, or Tyler Lockett? Well, it doesn't sound like Allen Robinson's going to go, so I'm
thankfully
voting against him. I think that's Sterling Shepard.
Yeah.
Yep.
It sounds like...
feel good about it, but it is.
Well, it sounds like the Redskins starting slot corner probably isn't going.
I feel a little better about it then.
Yeah, I mean, Eli's going to be under duress this whole game, but when he does get rid of the ball, Shepard should be in a good matchup.
And Lockett may see Slay, so...
I feel like this game is going to be really ugly.
Oh, absolutely. That is a game I am not super excited to watch. We will, but it's not going to be pretty.
There it is.
All right. Don't see any more questions coming through the chat. Keep those coming. We'll stop back and check on those in just a moment here. Let's go ahead and do a quick weather update where we have no green light games this week. Everything basically is seeing minimum of about 15-mile-an-hour winds in pretty much every single game.
We have a beer from Maine. We've had Sea Dog Brewing Company. We've had their
Sea Dog.
blueberry.
That's right. They're a dual brew one. They're Maine and Florida, right?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think they're both. But I think I picked Sea Dog for our New England one because we don't have a lot of options from up there.
I thought we had a blueberry last year from them.
Oh, and he clarifies that Maine Beer is a specific brewery, and we have definitely not had a brewery named Maine Beer on.
No, we haven't had that.
And appreciate the shout out, Crunchy Tacos White. Glad we're able to help you guys out, and hopefully you're also checking out the Monday, Wednesday, Friday episodes as well. Floor Killer wants to know Keelan Cole or Jared Cook in standard scoring this week. I think that's Jared Cook.
Yeah. I love Jared Cook without Amari Cooper there.
Westbrook and Moncrief, even though Cole is a starter, both kind of outperformed. One of the starters both kind of outperformed.
Cole really hasn't done a whole hell of a lot since about week 2.
Yep.
All right. Well, back to the weather. The games I'm going to keep the game that looks like it's going to be the ugliest is going to be Jets at Chicago. There's going to be up to 30-mile-an-hour wind gusts. Everything else is just going to be kind of light rain, 10 to 20-mile-an-hour winds. So there's no like real pretty games to target, but there's no like torrential downpours like we saw in week 1. So everything should be good there. Any asking for a friends?
Yes, I did have an asking for a friend.
Okay.
So I need to pick one out of, pick 2. Sorry, this is a pick 2 question. Nelson Aguilar, Anthony Miller, or Dante Moncrief?
I think that's Anthony Miller.
Okay, Miller's starting. What about the other? It was pick 2.
Oh, sorry.
I need one more.
It was Moncrief, and who's the other one?
Aguilar.
It's Aguilar.
Okay.
I'm not going to, Moncrief has had a couple nice games this year, but he's also given you a couple, borderline zeros, and I'm just not trusting him.
Well, it's Philly's secondary, too, so I wanted to, he's been absolutely torched, so I just wanted to play with that a little bit and get your guys' thoughts.
All right, here we go. Asking for a friend. Chris Carson, Duke Johnson, or Corey Clement?
Chris Carson.
Yeah, I know.
Then why'd you ask?
No. I felt like I needed one in there. I'm still looking.
Ugh, I have to start Raheem Mostert. That's ugly.
There we go. Doug Martin or Christian Kirk in full PPR?
Doug Martin or Christian Kirk full PPR?
Doug Martin?
Yeah, I think it's Doug Martin. I just have such little faith in Arizona's passing game.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you.
Jack Doyle or Kyle Rudolph in full PPR?
Jack Doyle. I just haven't been seeing the targets out of Rudolph I want to see.
I've been flipping it back and forth.
I'm still more get this game Wilson and zoomed in super far. I'm still more Rudolph on that. With Doyle coming out with the hip injury, the bye week next week, it's still failing him. I could see him being very limited.
Yeah.
So I know Rudolph is going to be involved.
All right. Dylan wants to know. Oh, and Floor Killer says it's London. Bort's going to go off. Dylan asks, Yeldon, Lockett, or Evan Ingram in full PPR? Tight ends get 1.35 PPR.
Well, it's not Lockett. So it's between Yeldon and Ingram.
I think it's Ingram.
It's Ingram. It was the premium. His running defense is very good.
Yeah.
And then,
sorry, I have another asking for a friend. But the listeners come first.
And then Floor Killer asks one of the grossest questions I've seen all season. Buck Allen or Kyle Rudolph in half PPR?
Kyle?
I think it's Rudolph. That's
I think it's
gross.
Rudolph.
Yeah.
Buck Allen's usage has dropped like a rock.
Yeah. Well, it's always been low. He's always gotten touchdowns, or he's had an okay floor from his pass catcher and just doesn't get any more.
Yeah, as soon as Gus Edwards started getting touches, it was kind of like pull them ripcord on
Yeah.
on Mr. Allen.
Shout out to you asking for a friend here.
All right, go ahead.
All right. CJ, a.k.a. TJ Uzama, or Greg Olson.
Uzama has the better matchup by far.
Okay, that's who I've got in. And then Diggs or Mark Ingram?
Diggs.
Okay.
What's the scoring setting?
Assuming half.
PPR.
Yeah.
It's half.
Yeah, Diggs.
Sorry, it's half unless I say it's not half.
Yeah, I know. I'm just used to asking.
And I'm just guessing at this point, honestly, because I'm in so many leagues I don't honestly remember.
We've gotten to that point.
Scoring the way God intended, half PPR.
It really doesn't matter. It's half or if it's not standard. So
Yeah.
It's probably still is.
Hashtag never standard.
Yeah.
Fortunately, some of us do not control our league scoring systems.
Yeah, we don't commission everything.
No, but we do control what leagues we join. So
Yeah, usually it's. I've been in it for quite a long time when I wasn't quite as opposed to standard, or the other option is it's like a family shit. They're my two standard leagues.
I suppose.
Okay, now they're asking for a friend.
All right.
This is actually your league, Nick. So half PPR. Chris Carson, TJ Yeldon, or Demaryius Thomas?
Carson still, I think.
That's a pick two. Sorry.
Oh, then Thomas is my second.
Yeah, Thomas Carson.
Bye-bye, TJ Yeldon. Welcome to Hoppers. That's lineups on air.
All right. Floor Killer wants to know Patriots or Washington defense. It's Patriots. They got the Bills.
Yeah, it's Patriots. I like both matchups, but yeah.
Yeah, they're both in my top 10, but New England's my one.
Yeah.
Dylan wants to know, does he start Chris Herndon, or does he wait and see if, or does he roll the dice if that Gronk's active?
Oh, God, that's brutal.
Start Herndon. It's an okay matchup, and they're void of pass catchers. So Gronk, who has not been that great this year anyway, when he is active, I would feel more comfortable not rolling the dice there. I'm comfortable, based on comfortable enough with Herndon to roll with them this week.
Yeah, unless there's another tight end who you can grab out of that game, which if you can get Charles Clay, I guess, and have him as insurance, but if you can't, I'd probably go Herndon. I just don't want to wait for Gronk and get screwed. Crunchy Tacos wants to ask, are we being scorists, which I think is a combination of scoring and elitists. We kind of are, because half, I think, has been, from what I've played, easily the most fair system.
Yeah. Here's one for you. Evan Ingram or Greg Olson?
Evan Ingram or Greg Olson?
I also have Jack Doyle, but I haven't activated him yet. I don't think I'm going to until after the bye.
I think it's Olsen there, because while Ingram should see some usage, I think we're just with his snap percentage alone, I'm trusting Olsen a little bit more here.
I knew that you alluded to that. You talking about that on, I think it was Friday's episode, is what, because I was pretty content with binging Olsen everywhere, but you talking about targets falling a snap percentage on Friday's episode kind of pulled me off of that.
I'm glad I convinced you of something.
We do listen to each other sometimes, folks.
All right, Richard Lopez with a real gross question here.
Oof.
He wants, it's Hines, Barber, Smallwood, and Duke Johnson. Man, I think that's Barber. Bengals rush defense is atrocious, so
It's probably Barber. The only other one I would consider would be Smallwood out of that, because the Jaguars hasn't exactly been fantastic either.
but it's been much better than
It's
Cincinnati's.
been better than Cincinnati, though, so
Yep, Richard. I'm saying Barber, but I'm not real happy about it. All right, Dylan wants to know if we were the ones who asked on the Fantasy Footballers about starting our own podcast. That was not us, to my knowledge. I don't control the other two completely, so maybe they got on the Ballers and asked him a question, but
no, I didn't ask him anything.
I don't believe Dan did either. We definitely listened to the Footballers before we started the podcast, and we took some inspiration from them, but it was not a situation where we were directly reaching out to them for questions about starting the podcast.
Go ahead.
Floor Killer wants to know, I've got Gronk and Hurst in one league. I added Dwayne Allen, and I'm rolling Gronk. But I like Herndon way more than Hurst, related to the question about from Dylan. So if it was Hurst and Gronk, I'd probably do the same. Grab Dwayne Allen and roll Gronk and hope that he plays.
Okay.
All right.
This is the question for Scott Fishbowl.
Okay.
Chris Herndon or Corey Clement?
Herndon, I think. Yeah, I really don't like Clement right now. He's just not been getting the touches, and he's been really inefficient.
And it's done in premium because it's Scott Fish, so there's that.
Hans, appreciate you jumping in here, but removing you just because no politics.
Somebody asked a political question.
Yeah, it's just coming in here throwing up a bunch of Trump stuff, so I just put him on timeout. Not getting into that right now. Too early in the morning anyway. Richard wants to know, Jarvis, Odell, Alshon, and Robert Woods sit one. I think you're setting Alshon.
Yeah, I think you are too.
The other three are all top 12 for me.
Yeah, Alshon's faded a bit just because Jalen Ramsey has not been the Jaguars' problems when he wasn't in jail last night. Well, last night in London, so.
Yeah, and he's going to shadow for sure this game with no Bouye.
It's my like from Nelson Aguilar this week too. Isaiah Crowell or Traquan Smith?
If Mac's not going to play, just with the Bears' rush defense the last couple of weeks, I think that's still Crow, because he should see up to 20 touches this week.
Starting at Rita Hurts.
I got one spot where I have to.
Kind of where I'm at.
Ooh, here's a fun one. Floor Killer wants to know, do you start Breeze, Rodgers, or Roethlisberger this week?
Rodgers?
I'm going Rodgers too. Rodgers is, I think, my 4, and I think I got Ben down at 9. But like both a lot. It's a very top-heavy week at quarterback, where there's like 10 really good matchups, and then everyone else is kind of eh. All right, you guys got any more questions here? We're down about the last 5 minutes before we're going to hit this off, and I'm going to go zone out on a couch for a while.
Sammy Watkins or Marlon Mack?
Ooh, if Mack was a full go, that would be an easy one. But with him not being,
and he plays in the afternoon, so if he didn't, so
yeah, and it's a noon game for the
Chiefs.
I would go. I'm going Watkins unless we get word that Mack is fine before the noon kickoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Show favorite got D'Angelo Henderson promoted from the practice squad and may be active today for the Jets.
Oh, good. Awesome. That's fantastic.
Yep.
I like him way more than Drake Cannon.
Well, I think Cannon still sees more work, but
I think so too. But I think it would give him the opportunity and just kind of in a vacuum, having seen both players. All
right. Well, I think I got all my lineups submitted. Hopefully, you guys too. And And Four Killer says even with Rhodes possibly sitting, and that's a yes, just because while Vikings might be missing some pieces, I still trust their defense in general more than what we've seen from the Rams the last couple of weeks. Ever since Talib went out, the Rams defense has been not good.
Yeah.
And then Ben is...
Talib is such a difference maker in that secondary that even with Rhodes out, I don't love it.
Yeah, and Peters has not been as good as he was in Kansas City with the Rams. His PFF grade has just been atrocious.
And there's also the possibility that the Saints defense actually shows up and victimizes the Vikings offensive line, which could keep this less of a shootout than what it has the potential to be.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. It is now about 8:20. We are about 10 minutes from kickoff. If you guys have any more questions this week, DM the show at BeerfieldFF, and I will get those answered from my couch as I'm going in and out of a nap here. You can tweet at Dan Thury, at ThuryBFF. I'm not sure where the hell he went, but he just got up and left here in the middle of the episode. And then, Hopper, want to sign out for yourself?
You can tweet me at BFF with QPs. And yeah, good luck this week, guys.
Yeah, good luck in week 8. Remember, this is about halfway through the year. We are only a couple weeks away from when it's time to get ready for the playoffs. We'll be back Monday to recap what all happened today, Sunday, and then Wednesday it's going to be time where we'll start actually looking forward to playoff moves that you can start making on teams that are set up to win, or some moves you should be making on teams who are looking like they may not make it, and you're kind of desperate to try to make that last playoff push. So thank you so much for listening, guys. Follow the show at BeerfieldFF, and we'll catch you guys next time on Beerfield Fantasy Football.
See ya.